Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be working on the expansion table here, but this time we're going to focus on the retaining wall. I think there's a lot of really interesting and cool techniques that we can put into this, so without me talking too much, let's just get started. All right, so this is what it currently looks like, and obviously this is nowhere near completion, and this is still just a rough draft here with the pillar on the left here. I do like having a pillar here. I think that's a good idea, and then as for what this base would be down here, I haven't totally decided yet, but I like having the cross here, or like the corner, I guess, and then the arches on each side. And then I have to figure out what design I want to put under each of the edges of each arch. So we have a lot of work to do today, so let me just get started on working on it. I have a couple of tentative ideas, but I'm not sure how this is all going to shape up in here. So without me getting too far ahead of myself and saying ideas that I haven't really tested out yet, let me get started on probably just tearing out most of this, and then we're going to start over. And we're also going to build up some of the beach today too, I think, or at least some of the sand under here. I haven't decided if the beach is going to be on this side or if it's going to be on that side, and then if the pier is going to be there or if it's going to be here. I haven't decided that yet. I have to choose, though. I have to choose in today's video, so obviously you've seen the thumbnail already. You know what I choose, but I haven't decided yet, so I'm going to kind of figure that out. If the beach goes here, then, that makes my life pretty easy. Then I can just continue the sand through and over to the edge of the table. Or the other option, like I had said, is the beach is there and then the pier's over here. If the pier's over here, then I would want it to kind of make an L shape here, and then under here would be some rock work and a beach. So I guess from this point out towards the edge of the table, this would be the same. So I can get started on working on that to see how that ends up. But as for this whole section here, I haven't decided yet. So that's what today's video is for. We're going to flesh out this whole area here, and hopefully it all looks really good. But let me rip some of this stuff out, and then we can get started. All right, so this is what I've come up with so far. Pretty much all this is just a few different layers of tan plate and then dark tan to get the wet sand look, and then the shallow water right here. And that's pretty much it. I did also add this base plate in because I need to extend down this way. But I think this looks pretty good so far. Obviously, there's not much to it yet, but I will be going in and adding a bunch of details. Unfortunately, I don't have any extra tiles for this unless I steal them from the corner of the city where I did start the ocean. I might do that just to get a better feel of how this is going to end up looking. But overall, I'm happy with how this looks so far. And so now let me go in and add a little bit more sand around the corner, and then we can start working on the retaining wall and seeing where that goes. All right, so this is how it's shaping up so far, and I'm really liking how this is starting to look here. Obviously, it's not done yet. It is nowhere close to that, but I think this looks pretty good, and the shape of the sand, I think, looks pretty decent as well. And overall, the wall itself is actually looking pretty good, and it's coming together a lot quicker than I expected it to. I don't have a lot of light gray brick, but I'm making good use of what I have. And I'm trying to be as efficient as possible with it here, but overall, I think this is looking really good, like I said. And here is a view of it from the other side, or the other angle, I guess, from the other side of the bridge. And I think this side looks pretty good as well. Obviously, the retaining wall is going to expand to the left, but that will happen in due time once I figure out exactly what kind of stuff I want to have going on here, because I want to have a rock edge somewhere. I don't want the whole thing to be a retaining wall. I think that would not look that great, but overall, this is shaping up to be pretty good so far. So let me continue with this, and then we can take it from there. I don't know how much more I'm going to do of the water today, just because I don't have a lot of the pieces that I want to use for it. So we're going to just take it one step at a time, though, and I'll show you guys once I make more progress. All right, so this is what we've got so far. I made a little bit more progress here, and I removed the bridge so that I can just get easier access into here so I can see what I'm working with. And I do need to go in and add 1x4 plates to the top of the wall here on the inside, just so you don't see that gap right in there. So I have to go in and I have to add those 1x4s, but overall, I think this is looking pretty good. And like I said, I'm probably not going to make any more progress on the water today. I'm just going to leave it as it is, I think. But the sand I will be making more progress on, and the retaining wall I will also be doing as well. So let me get to work on that, and I'll show you guys more progress. All right, so I took the road off just to show you that I am connecting that back wall to the underside of the road itself. And this is me putting the road back on right now just to kind of show you guys that everything does line up properly. And so pretty much all I need to do for this section left is to just go in and add the front columns for the arches. And then this base plate is pretty much done. So this is looking really good. So I will show you guys once the columns are in. All right, so the columns are in, and I have been making a little bit more progress, but we'll talk about that in just a second here. I'm just mostly laying out where the arches are going to go, but the columns are in for this base plate here, and I'm really happy with this. I think this looks really, really good. And so once we add some figures and some storytelling and a lot of the smaller details like animals and details on the sand, I think that's really, really going to bring this whole thing together, and I think this is looking really good. Over here, I did start to go in and add the arches up top, and I want it to kind of come around before the raised platform right here, just so I can make a little bit of a staircase down. I think that would be pretty cool, just so it's connected between the two levels here. And I did also go in and add all of the rest of the 4x4 plate on the bottom, because for those of you that missed that other video where I had started doing all of this here, the 4x4 plate on the bottom is to pretty much just sandwich everything together. So it's the 4x4 plate, 2 layers of 1x plate, and then the 4x4 plate is on top here. And that just creates a nice little sandwich between the road plate, and then that allows me to have a sidewalk. And obviously this is just a demonstration here with the sidewalk here, but this is the general concept of it. And I did also raise up these 1x4 tiles on the edge here so vehicles don't fall off the bridge, because I don't want that to happen. But this is looking pretty good, and so I will show you guys this right here. This is 16 studs wide by, I think, 24 studs long. So that's a nice little extra piece right there that I can make a staircase from, and all these other little details as well that I think will be really good. And so overall, if we take a little bit of a step back here, I think this is really starting to come together, and I'm very happy with this. This section over here is a mess. I have been messing with all different kinds of pieces over here, but overall, I think the retaining wall is going to maybe stop here, or maybe even like here-ish, and then I want to have a rock face going up the top to this raised level as well. I think having both of those over here would look really good. Instead of just having the light gray across, it would be like part light gray and part dark gray. So I think that's the way to go, and I am pretty happy with this. So let me continue working on this, and then we can go ahead and take it from there. I don't know how much tan plate I have left, unfortunately, so I would love to have 16 by 16s because this is 32 studs long by 32 studs deep. So 4 16 by 16s would fill this in immediately, but I don't have any in tan, unfortunately, so there's nothing I can really do about that. I only have a couple 4x4s left and a couple of these wedge plates here, so that's why this is kind of squarish right now, but I will be going in and adding a bunch of 1x1s and both plates and tiles. But let me get some more progress done, and I'll show you what I come up with. All right, so I figured before I went ahead and I did all of the retaining wall here, I might as well do the beach first, just so I can get an outline of that, and then I can move the retaining wall as needed. And so I think I'm pretty happy with the shape out here. Obviously, this is a pretty rough edge here, but that will get filled in with a lot of smaller plates in either a few moments here, if I can find the pieces that I want to use, or in a future video, so don't worry about that. But I am unfortunately almost out of tan plate. This is pretty much all I had left, and I have a couple other 4x4s, and that is like 2x8s, 2x6s, but that's not going to be enough to finish this area and then also bring it this way a little bit more. But with that being said, I'm happy with how this is looking so far. And so with that being said, I think I'm just going to keep working here, and I'm going to hopefully finish that section of the retaining wall as well, just so I can get a decent idea of how this area is going to look. But let me get back to work, and I will show you guys once I make more progress. All right, so I managed to go ahead and finish the back wall of the retaining wall here. I didn't get to do the columns for this right section here, just because I don't have the sand in, so there's no point to just having the columns float like that. But I was running low on 1x1 bricks, so I figured I'd go in and add a couple snot bricks, and I actually ended up adding a couple seagulls onto these, and I think this looks really good. I'm extremely happy with this, and I think this is looking really good. I did also go ahead and tidy up this edge up top here as well. So now once I get the tiles and also the masonry bricks or whatever design of wall that I choose to put up here, I can just go ahead and add that stuff in. But that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what I did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on this retaining wall and the beach section here, make sure to drop a comment down below to let me know what you think. But once again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.